So if you were going out and hiring a human front desk receptionist for your business today, the ritual is pretty much completely standardized at this point, right?
Right. Yeah. You post a job description, you check the references.
Exactly. You sit down for an interview, and during that interview, you're looking for very specific things like, are they polite? Can they handle the pressure of, three phone lines ringing simultaneously?
Do they represent your brand well? Yeah.
Right. It's this process we inherently understand because, well, we know how to evaluate other humans.
We've spent decades perfecting that evaluation. I mean, within a 5-minute conversation, you can usually gauge whether someone has the emotional intelligence to de-escalate a frustrated customer
Oh, for sure.
or the organizational skills to manage just a totally chaotic booking calendar. The metrics for human success in that role are deeply established.
But welcome to the year 2026, because we
Wow.
are now actively handing the keys to the front door over to artificial intelligence.
Which changes everything.
It really does.
Mm.
Suddenly, that standard interview process is just entirely obsolete. You aren't checking references anymore. You are evaluating API latency.
Yeah.
You aren't asking an applicant about their 5-year plan. You are trying to write a prompt that dictates their entire personality.
Which is wild to think about.
It is. So that's what we are exploring today. We're doing a deep dive into the rapidly evolving world of 2026 AI voice receptionist prompt tools. And we're drawing from this highly detailed teardown recently updated in June 2026 on the Service Agent blog.
And I think it's important to note that the landscape has fundamentally shifted here. We've moved from these theoretical tech demos to highly practical, deployable systems.
Yeah.
And the sheer volume of options available to a business owner right now is just staggering. It creates this massive paralysis of choice.
Which is exactly our mission for this deep dive. We want to help you cut through the marketing hype and really avoid the incredibly expensive mistakes of picking the wrong AI tool.
Because getting this wrong doesn't just mean, like, a minor software glitch.
No, not at all. It means paying for uncontrollable call minutes or building AI prompts that literally break when you try to scale them.
Or getting trapped in a single-purpose app that absolutely refuses to talk to the rest of your operational software.
Right. So whether you are actively researching an upgrade for your own business, or maybe you're prepping to sound like an absolute expert in a strategy meeting tomorrow, or you're just, fascinated by how AI is reshaping the traditional front office, consider this conversation your ultimate shortcut.
Because the stakes for a customer's first impression, they really haven't changed in 100 years.
No, they haven't.
If the entity answering the phone sounds confused, the customer hangs up and calls a competitor. The only difference now is the architecture behind that voice.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we get into these specific tools and the pricing traps waiting for you, we have to establish some ground rules.
Definitely.
What exactly is an AI prompt in the specific context of a voice receptionist? Because I think the default assumption is just, a text box where you type, please answer my phones would be nice.
And that assumption is the first major trap.
Yeah.
In this ecosystem, an AI voice prompt is a comprehensive job brief for the AI. You are essentially programming behavioral guardrails.
Okay. Behavioral guardrail.
Yeah, the source material really emphasizes that a successful prompt requires short, highly action-oriented, and role-specific language.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, if you want the AI to handle your calendar, vague instructions like facilitate scheduling when the customer is ready.
That sounds like a disaster.
It is. It will cause the AI to wander or hallucinate.
Yeah.
You have to instruct it with a firm, direct command, like book an appointment. You are defining its name, its tone of voice, its boundaries, and its 2 or 3 core operational tasks.
So you're basically locking it in a room with a very specific set of tools. You don't want it having, existential conversations with a caller who just wants a leaky pipe fixed.
Exactly. You're defining its entire universe. And the tighter that job brief is, the less processing power the AI wastes trying to interpret its own identity.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which translates directly to a faster, more reliable phone call.
Okay, let's dive into the actual software out there, starting with what the industry considers the no-fuss entry-level tier.
The budget options.
Right. This is tailored specifically for solo operators. The teardown highlights a tool called Rosie AI.
Oh, yeah, Rosie.
Yeah, it starts at $49 a month, giving you 250 minutes of call time. And it is built for the solo tradesperson, like a plumber, a landscaper, an electrician.
Someone who just wants their missed calls answered when they are physically out on a job site holding a wrench.
Exactly. It even features automatic overage alerts to prevent surprise billing at the end of the month, which sounds great.
It does. And right alongside Rosie AI sits Good Call, which occupies that same budget-friendly category but utilizes a completely different billing philosophy.
Right, they do it by the caller.
Yeah. Instead of charging by the minute, Good Call charges $59 a month based on the number of unique callers. They actually offer unlimited call minutes within that plan.
Wow, unlimited minutes.
For a low-volume shop that maybe spends 20 minutes on the phone with a single repeat customer, a predictable flat-rate model sounds like a massive advantage over watching a ticking clock.
But see, I want to push back on the reality of these budget models based on the fine print in our source text, because the catches here are glaring.
They really are.
Look at Rosie AI. The $49 floor price gets you in the door, sure. But if you want the AI to actually send an appointment booking link via text message to the caller, you are forced to upgrade to their scale plan.
The upsell.
And that plan is $99 a month. It's literally like buying a brand new car, sitting in the driver's seat, and having the dealership demand you pay double just to unlock the steering wheel.
That is exactly what it feels like.
What good is an answering service if it can't natively book the lead without doubling your overhead?
And that hidden friction is the exact trap of modern SaaS pricing. They hook you with a loss leader price, but the actual operational
The
necessity.
things you actually need to run the business.
Exactly. The features that generate revenue for your business are intentionally walled off. They know you'll pay the premium once the system's integrated.
And Good Call's model is just as predatory when you scale, because charging per unique caller sounds fantastic until you launch a marketing campaign and exceed your plan's limit.
Right, because then the fees kick in.
Good Call hits you with a 50-cent overage fee for every single unique caller beyond your cap.
50 cents per caller.
Yeah. A viral social media post could literally bankrupt your monthly budget overnight.
That's a nightmare scenario.
And my absolute favorite detail from the source involves the Trustpilot and G2 reviews for Good Call. A recurring, highly ironic complaint is that for a company selling a commercial phone answering product, their own customer support is nearly impossible to reach on the phone.
Oh, that is too good. The irony is very rich there.
Right.
But the underlying architectural flaw is what really matters here. Once a business outgrows a highly basic static script, these budget tools just shatter.
They just break.
They are rigid by design because limiting the AI's capabilities keeps the company's server costs low.
So if those budget scripts completely shatter the second a customer asks a complex question, how is a non-technical shop owner supposed to build something dynamic? I mean, they can't code. They don't have a software engineer on staff.
And that exact void in the market created the no-code middle ground. This category promises advanced agency-level features,
Like what kind of features?
like a complex scheduling logic and multilingual support,
Yeah.
but wrapped in a user-friendly visual dashboard.
Okay, so the source points out two major players dominating this middle ground. First is my AI front desk. It starts at $79 a month, and they heavily promote a deployment time of under 5 minutes.
Which is incredibly fast.
It is. And
Yeah.
if you bump up to their pro plan at $119 a month, you unlock over 10 different languages working straight out of the box.
That's a huge selling point.
And then the second tool is SynthFlow, starting aggressively at just $29 a month. SynthFlow boasts a drag-and-drop visual builder real-time variable injection.
Wait, real-time variable injection.
Yeah, meaning the AI can pull dynamic data from your database during a live call, and it has native integrations with Twilio and Zapier. They even took home a G2 Spring 2025 award for Best Estimated ROI among AI agents.
See, on paper, visual builders look like the holy grail. You just map out the conversational flow using these visual nodes and connecting lines.
Yeah, it looks super easy.
You're entirely bypassing the need for a developer salary.
But here's where it gets really interesting and, frankly, a bit baffling regarding how these companies operate. SynthFlow offers a 14-day free trial. But according to the teardown, that trial entirely blocks live call testing.
Wait, you can't test it on a phone.
No, you cannot dial a phone number and test the AI over a real cellular network without upgrading to a paid tier. Think about the fundamental value proposition of an AI voice agent.
It's all about how it sounds.
Exactly. It's how natural, responsive, and human it sounds over a telephone line. How can you possibly evaluate a product if you aren't allowed to hear its voice on a live test call without pulling out your credit card?
Well, the mechanism behind that restriction really just comes down to raw telephony costs.
Yeah.
tapping into real telecom networks like Twilio or utilizing SIP trunking, it costs hard currency per second.
So they just can't afford it.
Right. AI companies simply cannot subsidize free trial spam or automated bot attacks over live phone lines. But you are right, it completely defeats the purpose of an evaluation phase.
And the reality check for my AI front desk is even harsher. The source highlights a highly detailed Capterra review where a user spent 30 agonizing hours trying to configure the AI.
The 30 hours.
Yes, they spent nearly an entire work week tweaking the visual builder, optimizing the drag and drop flow, and eventually just abandoned the system because it was still too inconsistent and unreliable to deploy to real customers.
This raises an important question. Why does that happen?
Yeah, why?
It happens because mapping human conversational tangents using visual drag and drop nodes creates an unmanageable, tangled web of logic.
Oh, I see.
Human conversation is deeply unpredictable. If a caller says, I want to book Tuesday, but my husband might be home Monday, let me check, a visual node system panics.
Because it's not a simple yes or no?
Exactly. It doesn't know which branch to follow. The abstraction layer that makes the software look user-friendly actually chokes the AI's ability to process nuance.
Okay, so if the visual abstraction layer actively makes the AI less reliable in complex scenarios, how do enterprise companies handle this? I mean, a massive corporation isn't messing around with drag and drop nodes to handle 10,000 inbound calls a day.
No, they bypass the visual interface entirely. They strip away the user-friendly dashboards and they go straight to the code.
Straight to the code.
Yeah, this moves us out of the plug-and-play world and into the realm of raw, developer-first infrastructure.
Okay, the teardown targets two massive platforms in this space, Retail AI and Bland AI. Now, Retail AI charges 7 cents per minute, offering a $10 free credit to start building immediately. And the source describes Retail as being LLM native. Then you have Bland AI, charging 9 cents per minute, explicitly engineered for high-volume inbound and outbound automation with full, unrestricted API access.
Retail's LLM native architecture represents a massive fundamental shift in how voice processing operates under the hood.
How so?
It completely abandons the legacy frameworks that earlier tools rely on.
Wait, so when they say LLM native, does that mean it's abandoning the old legacy IVR systems? Like, instead of the AI functioning as a static decision tree where it's essentially just listening for keywords to trigger pre-written responses, the actual prompt logic is baked right into the core neural network.
That is the exact mechanism, yes. Older systems layer an AI voice on top of a rigid script. It's very disjointed.
Yeah.
Which causes latency. You know, that awkward 2-second pause before the AI replies.
Oh, I hate that pause. It's a dead giveaway.
Right. But an LLM native system processes the audio, the conversational context, and the logical objective simultaneously inside the language model itself. The AI isn't navigating a flowchart. It's dynamically generating responses based on an inherent understanding of the goal. That architecture eliminates the latency and results in voices that sound, honestly, terrifyingly realistic.
But looking at the economics of this developer tier, there is a massive shift, right? Neither Retail nor Bland charge a $49 or $79 monthly size subscription.
Yeah.
They operate on pure utility, pay-as-you-go billing. You pay 7 or 9 cents for the exact minutes you consume.
Yeah, think of utility billing like an automated toll booth on a highway.
Okay.
You only pay exactly when a data packet crosses the threshold. If your business has a quiet Tuesday and the phone doesn't ring, your cost is literally zero.
But the double-edged sword there is that if you run a successful ad campaign and the phone rings off the hook, the toll booth is deducting from your account 1,000 times an hour.
Exactly. And the source highlights complaints from developer communities on Reddit, specifically regarding Bland AI's rigidity in this area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it is pure utility. There are no bundled packages. There are no startup-ready discounts to help an early-stage growth company scale up.
So no volume discounts.
You are paying full utility rates from the very first API call. But the far greater hurdle is the technical barrier to entry.
Right, because you open the platform and you are basically staring at a blank terminal window.
You're looking at raw documentation. You need a dedicated engineering team to write the code, manage the webhooks, handle the telephony routing.
And catch all the edge cases.
Exactly. Without an engineering payroll, These platforms are utterly useless to a standard business owner.
So you're basically trapped. I mean, if you are evaluating this landscape in 2026, you are looking at a deeply fragmented reality.
Very much so.
You have budget tools that are affordable but too rigid for real growth. You have no-code tools that promise the world but trap you in tangled logic webs that take 30 hours to troubleshoot. And you have raw developer APIs that are incredibly powerful but require a computer science degree to operate.
Which leads to the obvious question.
Is there an architectural bridge? Something that offers the raw contextual power of custom AI, but doesn't require you to know how to code an API endpoint.
And the teardown suggests this exact friction is driving the rise of the all-in-one industry specialist.
Okay, the all-in-one industry specialist.
Yeah, the market is moving away from the AI acting as a simple phone patch. Instead, platforms are evolving into a comprehensive AI front office that natively handles the entire operational workflow.
The prime example of this in our source material is a platform called Service Agent. Now, full disclosure, Service Agent is the platform that published the blog teardown we are analyzing today.
Right.
But their approach to the market mechanics is fundamentally different. It is completely free to use their core platform. They provide a CRM, a scheduling calendar, and payment processing via Stripe Connect for 0 monthly subscription fees.
Which is pretty unheard of.
Yeah, you only pay a usage fee when their AI actually handles a phone call or processes a payment.
Discarding the SaaS subscription entirely in favor of a purely transactional model really lowers the barrier to entry. But the functional differentiator is how they manage the prompt engineering.
Right, because instead of handing you a blank text box or a complicated visual builder, they feature pre-built, industry-tuned models.
Like what?
They have an HVAC GPT, a plumbing GPT, a roofing GPT. The AI is pre-trained on the specific jargon, scheduling nuances, and common emergencies of those specific trades.
That's smart.
And they include a feature called Live Listen and Whisper.
Okay, I love this feature.
It's crazy. This allows a human manager to silently monitor a live AI phone call from their dashboard. If the AI gets confused by a complex customer request, the human can literally type whispering instructions to the AI in real time, guiding its response without the caller ever knowing a human intervened.
That's like having an earpiece for your AI.
Exactly. The platform boasts some serious verified outcomes based on this. A 100% call answer rate and a 77% reduction in appointment no-shows due to native automated follow-ups.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the broader operational victory here is the death of tool sprawl.
Tool sprawl.
Yeah, tool sprawl is the silent killer of modern service businesses. A typical plumbing company today is paying a monthly fee for CallRail to track phone numbers, another fee for Calendly for scheduling, another for a CRM like HubSpot.
Oh, adds up.
And then they're hiring an integration specialist to duct tape them all together using Zapier. Every one of those connections is a fragile point of failure. Service Agent argues that if the AI handles the call, it should natively inject the data into the CRM and natively trigger the strike payment within one unified ecosystem.
I mean, the elimination of tool sprawl sounds like an operational dream. But if you were evaluating this platform, you have to look at the massive red flags buried in the source text.
Oh, definitely.
Service Agent launched in April 2025. That means, as of this deep dive, they are barely a year old. The article explicitly states there are 0 G2 or Capterra reviews live yet.
0 reviews.
0. There is no independent third-party validation of those 100% answer rates.
And lack of social proof is a massive hurdle. You are asking a business to migrate their core operational data to an unproven entity.
And the risk multiplies. The source notes that their HIPAA compliance and SOC 2 compliance statuses are not publicly confirmed yet.
That's a big deal.
Are you willing to bet your entire business's customer database, your proprietary scheduling calendar, and your actual credit card payment processing on a brand new, completely unreviewed startup?
It's a huge gamble.
If an all-in-one platform goes bankrupt or suffers a catastrophic server failure, it takes your entire front office down with it. That is a massive operational risk to assume just to get the convenience of a unified AI.
It's the classic early adopter dilemma. You're trading established multi-vendor reliability for cutting-edge integration.
Yeah.
For a highly regulated industry like healthcare, the unconfirmed SOC 2 compliance makes this a complete non-starter.
Absolutely.
But for a rapidly growing roofing company that is actively losing tens of thousands of dollars a month because no one is answering the phones while the crew is on a roof.
Then it might be worth it.
Yeah, the immediate operational upside might heavily outweigh the startup risk.
So what does this all mean? If we zoom out and look at the underlying mechanics we've unpacked today, the core takeaway is pretty clear. Choosing an AI prompt tool in 2026 is not about Googling to find the objective best AI.
No, it's not.
The underlying language models, the actual neural networks, are largely commoditized. It is entirely about matching the architectural reality of the tool to the technical reality of your specific business.
Exactly.
If you are a solo operator who just needs to stop missing calls, you buy the $49 Rosie AI patch and you accept its paywalls.
Yep.
If you have a team of software engineers building a massive outbound sales machine, you scale up on Bland AI's raw infrastructure. And if you are a mid-sized plumbing company tired of duct taping 5 different software subscriptions together, you might calculate the risk and migrate entirely to Service Agent's Plumbing GPT.
It is entirely about architectural fit. But, as we synthesize the data across all these disparate platforms, a fascinating secondary thread emerges here.
What's that?
Every single one of these companies is pouring millions of dollars into engineering, 204 days of answering capabilities, zero latency, and ultra-realistic voices.
Yeah, they want it to sound perfectly human.
They are aggressively trying to make the machine indistinguishable from a flawless human. And that trajectory begs a much larger societal question.
I love where this thought experiment is going. Walk us through it.
Look at the trajectory heading into 2030. If these AI receptionists actually achieve perfection,
Right.
if they become flawlessly polite, cost fractions of a penny to operate, speak 10 languages natively, never miss a single call, and instantly parse complex scheduling variables without ever placing a customer on hold,
Which is where it's headed.
they will inevitably become the default standard for global business.
Mm.
But if flawless machine interaction is everywhere, what happens to the human touch?
Oh, wow.
Does calling a business and having a real, flawed, breathing human being answer the phone become the ultimate luxury status symbol?
Like a badge of honor.
Yeah. Will it become a signal that a company is so high-end and bespoke that they can actually afford human inefficiency and empathy?
That is fascinating.
Or will human psychology adapt so quickly to the machine that we view human receptionists as a slow, unpredictable, obsolete frustration?
Will we actually get annoyed when a real human answers the phone because they can't process our calendar request in 2 seconds?
Right.
It entirely flips the script on what we value in customer service, and it brings us right back to where we started today. The next time you call a business or you think about how your own business answers the phone, you aren't just evaluating a receptionist anymore.
Yeah.
You are evaluating the exact moment where human ritual meets artificial intelligence. We want to thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the 2026 AI voice landscape. Keep questioning the tools you use, keep looking for the catches in the fine print, and we will catch you on the next one.